This is the kind of day in the life vlog style that we're doing.
Especially in that.
For those who want to know how they can buy properties at a discount, this is one of the ways that you can. Going to tax auctions, where if people don't pay their property tax, then the county or state ends up auctioning off a tax deed, depending on what state you're in. So we're in Hawaii, where there is also a 12-month redemption period. So what happens is the county auctions off your taxes. Basically, it gets paid by the highest bidder, and then they have to wait 12 months to see if the property owner will pay back the taxes plus the interest, or if they don't, then you get the tax deed, and then you have to go through the process of claiming the title. So today we're going to the Maui tax auction, picking up my business partner Fuzzy. We have a bunch of shirts and things to give to our students that are going to be there. And our whole goal with sharing this is to show locals here that there are different ways that you can buy properties. I know everybody thinks that, you know, it's impossible to get a home here because the price point is over $1 million for an average home. But it just means you have to be a little bit more flexible and a little bit more creative with finding homes and being comfortable with, you know, getting homes off market. So a lot of these properties that we get are typically out-of-state owners who don't live here anymore, or they are inherited homes, or just making sure that the families that we are purchasing these homes from are aware of what's happening, and then, you know, we are another option. But that's how me and my husband got our first home, was actually at a foreclosure auction, and we got it at $400,000. We put about $80,000 into it, and then it was worth right away like around almost $800,000. So it is a way that you can get in for a lower price point. You might have to buy a fixer-upper or a property that has a bunch of liens on them and figure out how to pay them. And you could fix it up and have instant equity, because when it comes down to it, you know, we have to have some buffer in there to be able to, let's say you have to sell it because you can't afford the mortgage payments anymore, or, you know, you end up moving and you have to sell it. So that's why a lot of investors need, and people in general, should have some sort of value add or equity into their home. But we're going to pick up my business partner and then eat some donuts and then head to the auction. So follow along, like and subscribe.
Oh, what's up, gang? Just reached Maui. I'm at the airport, getting ready to head out to get picked up by my business partner Zasha Smith, and we getting ready to go to this tax deed auction here in Maui. So stay tuned. We're about to have a good day, and then after the tax auction, we're going to be having a meetup with some like-minded people interested in learning about their strategy. See you guys. Hello. What's up, gang? Here on Maui, just got picked up at the airport. We are heading to the Maui Community Center.
Kihei Community Center.
Kihei Community Center. There's a tax auction. This is, I think, year 3 that I came to Maui to check out these tax auctions in Maui. And the difference between Maui and other islands, well, Maui, Oʻahu, and I think Kauai, there's the list of these properties are big, but then by the time the auction date comes, there's like 1 to 3 properties left. Last year was only 1 property, and that person got that property super cheap. So we're excited to see there's 3 properties today, and see what those go for.
And we'll take you along the journey just through the experience.
Check out this view.
We're here at the Maui property tax auction. And this is one of the strategies that we teach in the Hui Mastermind that will help people get their foot in the door at a lower price point.
Yeah, so it's, a strategy that we wasn't taught, like my parents wasn't even taught this strategy, where when people don't pay their taxes for a few years, the county will auction it off at these tax deed auctions, and the upset price is unbelievably cheap, pennies on the dollar. And this is one of the reasons why you as a local, you from Hawaii, should learn, I want to say should learn, would be, smart to learn something like this, right? Because you can probably get your foot in the door at a cheaper price. So that's one of the reasons why I believe this is awesome to come and check out. And if you're ready, like, you can purchase properties.
Yeah, and we usually, after events like this, we will host meetups. So today, after the auction, we're going to host a free meetup where anybody can attend to kind of, one, talk about the experience, but two, just go over what actually happened, because a lot of people get intimidated on using some of these off-market strategies or attending, auctions like this, because they don't know what's going on. And even afterwards, it gets a little, overwhelming for people as well. So we love to just talk story. And that's the power of community and power of being around people, like-minded people that are there to essentially help each other. And that's exactly what we do and why we form the Hui.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing about this, if you don't know about this strategy or coming to these tax auctions and you just come and start bidding, you don't know how to bid. Sometimes you can buy a property and there's extra liens on it. There's some things that might end up, instead of getting it at a discount, you might end up losing, right? So knowing the right things to do when you come to these auctions is key.
Yeah, and it is important to learn this because prices in Hawaii are only going up. It's only going to get higher because the value of the land is priceless here. And I think we as locals see the importance in that. And that's why we love to just teach people, show people these strategies, on social media, and to our students that are ready to take it to the next level. So come and join us inside. We want to come show you a little bit of the experience of how it goes down.
Let's go. Prices are getting more and more expensive right here in Hawaii, so there's no better way to learn real estate through coaches that are active right here in Hawaii.
So come join us today. We're excited to have you start your journey and be there to support you.
So we got two properties on the list here. We got one on Oʻahu Valley Road in Wailuku, and we got a unit. So the starting bid on the Oʻahu Valley property is upset price is $5,000, and then the unit in Kihei is going for $94,000 starting, but believe it or not, I think those units are like close to $1 million. So it starts off at 100K right here, 94,000, but then it goes up probably to like maybe 200 grand. Who knows? We'll see. There's not too much people today, so somebody will definitely go home with a tax certificate to be owner. But there's also, got to remember, there's a redemption period, the 1 year. So the owners here can come back and buy it off of the highest bidder. They have to pay them what they won the bid at plus the interest, which is like 12% APR. So let's see what happens today.
So this is the reason why a lot of people are intimidated or think that they can't purchase properties, because at these tax auctions, you actually need a cashier's check. That means you need straight cash in order to, well, not cash itself in the money form, but a cashier's check in order to purchase these properties. And on The bigger islands like Oahu and Maui are the more expensive islands. You need like hundreds of thousands of dollars unless you're buying a parking stall like on Oahu. So we teach, how to look at other islands as well, that you don't need as much cash on hand, or how you can hui up, how you can partner up with your family members, with maybe other investors or other people looking to buy their own property for themselves, how you guys can team up together and find the funds for these deals too. Okay, they are just about to start this Maui tax auction. When you first walk in, they'll have you register if you're going to be an active bidder or a spectator. You have to fill out registration forms, and then they have these packets here, the title reports, and more information about the properties on these tables that are actually being auctioned off. But there's only 2 left at this auction.
The crazy thing is, try to look at this property. It's a little triangle, dude. It's like 27 feet by, I don't know, tiny for like a, fruit stand or something.
They're gonna get started. We gotta shut off. Auction just ended right here on Maui. There was only 2 properties. It started off, I think, initially with over 20, but people ended up paying off their property taxes. And then so one was a very small piece of land, went for like $7,000. Another one was a 2-bedroom oceanfront condo that went for $955,000.
Oh, yeah.
$955,000. So people that are coming here have to have that cash up front, a cashier's check, money order. But there was
definitely some tension on that one for sure. The first one was there was 2 people bidding on them. One guy got pissed off, stormed out, and he was mad, like super mad. But it was good to see a local guy who was able to, win the bid on that property, and go to a local person from Hawaiʻi. And then the condo is like, you see people who had money, they knew what they were doing, and then it was just like, I think they got pride in the way, right? Well, I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna bid higher than you, and it went up to
and the comps were showing at like 1.4.
Yeah.
So if he can get it in the end. But some things to look out for that we found out prior to this was that there is actually an assessment coming up on that condo complex for $100,000. So we'll have to owe that much. The HOA fees were about like $1,500 a month. Mm-hmm. So in the process of all these taxes accruing over this 12-month redemption period, the HOA fees and maintenance fees will also start accruing as well.
Right. So that's why it's important to know all of that stuff she was just mentioning, to know your homework, and if you're ready to pay all those fees, and when you come, make sure that you know what you're bidding on, because you can get, puka pockets.
You can actually overpay for properties this way as well. So I think it was just a good experience in order to get started at, essentially this guy got property for only $7,000 right here on Maui. Yeah, and he was an active bidder. Yeah. So there's people who are still spectators, and that's fine, coming for the experience, but don't wait on the sidelines, because prices are just going to keep going up, like we mentioned before. And coming to auctions like this will definitely show you how you can get these properties at a discount. And then now we are going to meet up with some of the community members and our hui members that are here that watched the auction, talk about our experience, and also just some of the lessons learned and what their takeaways were.
Yes, so kind of excited to meet all the people that's, wanting to learn about this strategy like I did. When I first went to my first auction, knew nothing, but all I knew was people who were winning properties was buying it at discount. So I needed to know, educated myself, and now we're sharing this with the interested people. So let's go check them out. How many of you guys knew about tax auctions growing up? Like,
I've heard about it.
Yeah.
Like imagine if we're like, 20 years before, like going to something like this. Like, but now right? You guys come, like, and this was a way that, like, myself and Zasha was able to share it, because we never knew, so we wanted to just, be the people that to just abundance mindset and it's just one step or one strategy that you could get into real estate at a cheaper price. Yes, of course, there's things that you need to know, but at least your engine in here is churning like. Oh,
and you're one of the few people. Like not many people still know about it, or if they do, they're like, well, I don't know if I'm gonna go. So at least you guys are, taking action right now and learning about it. But it's about implementing after this. What else are you gonna do, or how else are you gonna learn? What's your game plan now? Because we can learn a bunch of stuff, but if we don't do anything with it, then you're going to be in the same spot. So congrats to you guys all for showing up today. That's one way to start taking action, meeting other people and meeting, people in this group. But we have some students, we have some people that are just, coming around and being in the community. That's awesome. It's exactly why we throw like free events like this, just to educate people. For those who want to take it to the next level, then they join the Hui, and we teach them other strategies as well. So right now we're gonna go pay my property taxes that are due. So if you own a home or a condo or any sort of property land, then typically the county or state will charge you taxes that will go and help pay for things like the roadways, the DMV, all the other county facilities that we have and need to be maintained. So if you don't pay them, then you end up right there. Your property ends up getting auctioned off, your tax deed here in Hawaii. So make sure you go and pay your property taxes.
Yeah. If not, you're gonna see your name on that list, right? Is this the building you come in and you pay a tax, and then you don't gotta worry for 1 year. So one common question that we always get is, how do you find deals? Well,
people think it's impossible to get properties at a discount, or they think, okay, we live in Hawaii, the median home price is $1 million, I can't afford it, and they give up instantly. So one of the things that we like to talk about is finding properties off market. That means not through a realtor, not listed for sale, but contacting owners directly. And why would they sell to you? Well, they might be in some sort of distress. They might have inherited a house that they don't want and they're just letting sit there. They might have moved out of state and just are done with the house, but just don't know what to do or in the right time to sell. Or they might be in a predicament where they don't want to pay taxes on the profits that they could potentially make on a home sale. So I think these are just some ways to think about why people would sell off market, so that people can get comfortable with talking about that. Because I think a lot of the questions we get is like, well, why wouldn't they just sell with a realtor to get a higher price? Well, for people in certain situations, that won't work for them. But the number one free way that you can get deals right now by just driving around in your vehicle, you could also be walking around your neighborhood, is go and look for these homes that are in distress. That means they have overgrown yards, maybe the roof is caving in, maybe it looks vacant. And from there, you can go on the county tax record site that's open to the public. Then you can pull up the owner's name, get a mailing address, or even if they live there, you can go and knock on the door and ask them if they ever thought of selling. I think people get overwhelmed with, going out and thinking, okay, how do I find deals? It can be as simple as that, as going up to the door and knocking on it and asking that question.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible, right? You drive by a busted up house, and
you don't need a real estate license to do this. It can be done. You do need a legitimate contract. You do need to open escrow with a title company. So that just means you need an agreement between you and the owner giving you permission to sell that contract. But as far as you needing to be licensed, we're not.
Yep, so there you have it. Quick way on how you can find a deal right now. Driving for dollars.
Had a great time at the tax auction. Not only did we get to talk about to other people that were interested in purchasing at the tax auctions, but also we got to talk to the county members that put it on as well. And they were excited about it. And they also gave us some quick tips as well to look for some liens. There was properties that got bid up to almost $1 million. But I think the key was knowing, okay, what are the comps in the area? What could it potentially be worth? And then also what other debt did it have against it that you could possibly might owe?
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing that, you know, before you go to these auctions, you want to do your due diligence. You want to know, like she was saying, is doing your homework on what properties are selling for in that area, right? Whatever properties that's on the list, you just do your homework. Go on Zillow, find out what, type in the address and see what was recently sold in that area. And if you're not bidding correctly, you could definitely go the opposite direction. Instead of making money, you can be losing money. Korean chicken. Yummy.
One little known fact about me is that I love to eat with chopsticks.
So we're having some Korean chicken over here. One of my favorites. Zippies.
What about foreclosure? How about the difference between tax auction and a foreclosure auction?
Foreclosures is when you stop paying your mortgage. The bank forecloses on you.
So how is that process similar or different? Does it also go through an auction?
Yeah, it'll go to a, you can bid at the courthouse
So it is an
for
auction.
the property. It's an auction, a foreclosure auction at the courthouse. There's
Are
usually,
those once a year?
no, every week there's one. So yeah, so the foreclosure auctions is at the courthouse steps, is when people stop paying the mortgage, then the bank forecloses on them. And I think the people who own the property has up until the court date to pay the bank back. And sometimes the bank just, you know, try to close the sale or close at the courthouse, because then, you know, now they own the asset. And my foreclosure was bought outside the courthouse, was true. Straight through escrow, straight through a wholesaler who was dealing with the bank. So I bought the property in HPP, a 5-bedroom, 5-bedroom, 4-bath for $510, and that, 510 is what they owed, and then I gave the wholesalers 10 grand, so I got the property for $520. All cash from all profits. Uncle Fuzzy. One topic that we can talk about on your beginning journey as a person who wants to get involved with real estate is ding, 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 ding. Educating yourself, changing your mindset, reading books, watching some podcasts or YouTube channels that talk about any strategy that pertains to real estate. So there's people that are on HGTV where they go and they're wholesalers, right? They go and find properties, they go out, find the deal, get it on the contract, and then they sell it. So, and then other guys who do fix and flip, brand new builds, and then also commercial properties. So there's so many different ways to start asking people who are doing it, and just go direct. Say, hey, would you have some time to chat? I'd like to learn how to do what you do. And, you know, believe it or not, some of those guys would be willing to teach. Sometimes they might say, hey, I charge a fee for me to teach you, but they're willing to take, you know, their time to teach you what they're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. He builds, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was telling Dasha actually, Monaco.
Oh yeah.
And then from Monaco, I moved on to Kyoto.
But I think the simplest and easiest way to get started with little to no money is to connect with a realtor. Say you're just starting in investing, maybe you haven't even bought your own property yet. Realtors are a great source of knowledge as far as when it comes to purchasing or even looking for real estate. They already know the market. They get paid on commission, so it doesn't cost you anything to talk to them, but you have to be serious and not wasting their time either. But that's a great way where you can already find motivated leads, is right listed on the market. The reason why we talk about off-market properties a lot is because that's another way that you can find properties at a deeper discount, because they're not looking for retail value. A lot of times when homes are listed with a realtor, they want the highest price they can get. But when you're searching for properties that haven't been listed yet, they might be more motivated to accept a lower price or a price that works for you and them.
That's a great point. Real estate agents, I work with real estate agents, and they are one of the top reasons why I get opportunities, because I ask them for a criteria of what type of houses or properties I'm looking for, and they send me this email campaign, and every day it comes in my email. I take a look at it, and if it's an opportunity I see that fits my criteria, I message the agent if I can go and schedule a showing and do my due diligence, and just I put in an offer. If it gets accepted, boom, done deal. So yeah, realtors, that's the quick and easiest way. Go find a realtor.
It's free.
Yep. Okay, gang, that's a wrap.
Woo!
End of our day, getting dropped off to the airport, and we had a blast. Was able to check out the Maui Tax Auction and got to meet some new faces that were interested in getting involved with
and connect with our current Hui students. And that's why we have these meetups as well, is to build that community, have consistent, in-person and also virtual help. And you just never know what people are going through in that moment. And these are definitely specialized strategies as far as when it comes to tax auctions. In any kind of mentorship, you learn the fundamentals, but coming to these live active auctions always gives you a different set of confidence, because you're actually out there taking action. So super proud of all the people that showed up today, just to kind of see what it was like to go to an auction. Nobody really bid because there was only a few properties, but a lot of times, people are even afraid to go to these auctions because they just don't know what to expect. So at least they got those first time jitters out. And then after the tax auction, we headed to Zippy's to go eat lunch real quick, and then headed to a few of the renovations I have going on, and just kind of talk about different strategies that we can help other people kind of find deals as well, because that's the hardest part, is finding a deal. Everybody thinks that the hardest part is finding money, but if you find a good deal and you are in a community, you're putting yourself out there, you're in a mentorship, you're in surrounding yourself by other like-minded people, you'll find someone to either, potentially loan you the money or potentially partner with you that has the money.
Yeah, so there you have it. If you guys are interested in learning more about what we're doing, like and subscribe to our channel. Check us out on our huimastermind.com if you're ready to pull the trigger and learn from two locals that's right here in Hawaii to teach you how to start your journey and the roadmap on how to become successful in real estate right here in Hawaii. Choo! Aloha.